Hello and welcome to Edupedia World. So, I think it's now time that we take a look at how you can animate text. So, to do that, let's create a new composition and call this animation of text. Okay, and then Control T, and we can write something. So, I'll make this a little bit larger and just type in Edupedia World, and maybe find a little bit a nicer font. I think I always like this very thin font, and just maybe push it a bit closer together, and if you hold Control and Shift, you can snap this to the middle of the screen, and here we have it, Edupedia World. The thing I want to do is animate this so it pops up. So how do we do that? So it's like character for character, they scale up from 0. I will show you what I mean if that was a bit confusing. So if you open up your text layer, pressing this little dot, you will see an option called Animate, and then you can animate a lot of different things. To do what we want to animate the scale. So just press that, and here you will see some different options. We want to go into the range selector and open up advanced. So to do what we want to do is actually very simple. So we want to change the scale to 0, and then by changing the offset we can make our text appear and disappear. So let's go to 0 seconds where we already are, set a keyframe, go to 1 second, and put this to 100. And if we preview this, we will see a text being shown character by character. Let's just make this a little bit slower so you can see what's going on. Each character is scaling up from 0. There we go. Right now this is all completely linear. They are scaling completely linear relative to time. We can make it so that they pop up a little bit. They pop up. Let's call it that. And we can use the ease high and ease low to do that. So let's just try and change the ease high. This makes it so that the first part, where it's very small, takes a long time, and then when it gets larger and larger, it scales quicker and quicker. Like whoop, 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 whoop. I hope you understand what I mean. It's like yip. It moves slow and then it gets larger. So you can also do that if you change this back to 0. You can also do that with ease low. That means it will go quick in the beginning and then slowly in the end. Let's just put this up to like 100. It'll be like they go quick and then they just ease up. They ease in the end. So very fast, and then they slowly get into place. And this is just some ways that you can customize the way your text is shown. I like it when the ease low is set to something like 100, so it's like they are shown very quickly. There are some different ways, some different modes. If we set this to subtract, then it will have the whole word already standing there, and then they will disappear one after another. You can insert. All these does different things. It will take a long time for me to explain everything. Instead of using percentage as the unit, we can also use index. So that means that we are, so you can see n means 14. That's probably because there are 14 characters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14 characters. So we can also, instead of basing this on characters, we can base it off words. And this means that we will be scaling up words together instead of only the characters. So let's move this a bit closer to each other, like this. Edupedia world, and that's how that's done. We can also, let's just delete this guy. We can also animate, let's say, opacity. This should be very similar. So let's just quickly do the same as we did with the other. And here we go. Edupedia world is now fading in very nicely. I will add some ease low. And now they're fading in very nicely, in my opinion. We can take this layer, maybe Control C to copy, and we can mix it in with our other animations. So if we just paste right here, we can maybe move this down here, and yeah, Edupedia world. Edupedia world is a blinking box. Can add it in here. Edupedia world. And there we are. Can add it into this box we had going on. So here in the end, you can see the box disappears, and let's say we want each Edupedia world to show up right when it disappears in the middle. How can we do that? Well, we need to go into Edupedia world, and we need to change some settings. So we want this to happen much later, and because we changed this so that what is it called? So that the composition had this exact same length as the animation, we have to go into the composition settings and change the length. So let's make this 8 seconds instead of 4. There we go. And now the composition will continue when this has disappeared. So let's make it so that it will start fading in right here. Can move this over. Let's take a look. Let's actually change the beginning so we don't have to look through it all. Bam. And there we go. We can also change the offset, I think. No. there we go. It's now fading in right after this box, and see, now it's all fading in like this. We can make this scale up. So to do that, I want to change the anchor point to the middle of this text layer, so that it's scaling up from that position. So you can see right now we want to go and get the scale option for this keyframe and move a bit, scale it up so that it's scaling, and then right here I want it to fade out when it's still scaling. And now we will end the animation right here. And here we go, we have our animation, Edupedia World. Maybe it's scaling a bit too much. Scale. Let's just turn this down just a bit, so it isn't scaling that much. The last scale keyframe we had actually got cut off when I changed the length of this animation, but that doesn't matter. We can just create a new one, and there we go. Jupiter World, fade out. So this was just a quick introduction to how you can animate text, and as you saw, there are a lot of different opportunities. So you can go in and change the position, all that stuff. You can just go in and play around. I don't have to tell you how everything is done. When you know how one thing is done, like I showed you opacity and scale, then rotation, scoop, position, all of this will be almost the same. Just play around with these settings, and at some point you will come up with something very cool, and it will also be much cooler than what I've done right here. This isn't anything special, so go play around, have some fun, be creative. Don't think I want to make the same as what he did, exactly the same. I want to create something new. Try and disconnect from what I am making, and then try and make your own, because that's where you learn the most. Thank you for watching Edupedia World. Stay tuned for more videos.